All right, everybody, we are back. And Aurelia, Autumn High Priestess of the Lord of Mists, you last saw her in the secret temple at the top of Mount Firmament, has just cast a spell and teleported herself into your location, and is looking at you with a look of disapproval, as she sort of says, "Well, that didn't go exactly as we hoped it would, did it now, ladies?"
No, it definitely did not. At all. I think it's fair to say we are as disappointed as you are by how things have gone.
She'll kind of, take out a low, slow breath and kind of go, "Give me a moment, please." And she will kneel down next to Theros' body.
I'm very sorry about that.
She'll put up a hand like, "Just give me a moment. Give me a little bit of space."
Okay. Okay.
After a couple of minutes, she will rise and gesture towards the campfire that you built, Cal. And she will sort of go, "Let's talk."
Okay.
So, she says as she sits down, "Let's recap. Last time that we spoke, I thought that we had some fairly attainable goals. Visit my 3 siblings. Recover the Void Piercers in their watch. Don't lose track of your dragons. Stay together. Kill the Vintner and stop whatever plan he has from occurring." How do you feel that we did here? A gentleman's C-? You recovered 2 of the Void Piercers.
We recovered all 3 of them.
Okay, great. And then you
But-
lost one of them and also one of your crew members in the process, resulting in the death of one of my siblings.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, that's accurate.
That sums it up, yeah.
Meanwhile, your dragon to void keeper ratio is what? 3, your dragon to void keeper conversion ratio is 2 to 1?
1
Yes.
to 2, I think is... I don't know, I'm confused. Math is confusing.
The point
But-
is, last time we talked, you had
Yes.
3 dragons, the way that prospective
Yes.
cavaliers should. But I see only one of them now. She will pull
Yes.
she'll pull some meat out of her pocket and hand it over to Volt, who for once in his life is just staring at her and does not even look at the meat.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know if Volt likes.
Yeah. So, in our defense, a lot has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I died twice.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Somehow your aura is clearer,
I'm
though.
better.
It
is.
You're not quite giving me as much of the dark entity having fingerprints all over your soul vibes as you did when last we spoke.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we had to kind of deal with that.
That was a huge thing.
It
and
was a huge
It's good
thing.
progress.
It is. And so that happened. We also encountered this real tough piece of work named Admiral Razak.
You've
From
probably heard of her.
Yeah, she's awful.
I've
She's
heard
terrible.
I've heard whispers about her work. She
But
seems
she's the one who took our
formidable.
dragons.
Yeah, she's taken our dragon. She probably has Satus. She's been very difficult.
I
Yeah.
see.
I mean, we could explain more if it helps, but
Why don't we?
Well,
Yeah, the bird's eye view of what happened would be extremely helpful, actually, because when I got a quick message from a fast action messaging system that I had with my siblings, telling me that I should come here. I didn't expect to see him dead. Although I had an inkling that I might find the two of you as well.
Oh, really?
Just the two of us?
Well, the three of you. I didn't expect things to be this unraveling the way
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah.
So what has happened
Oh.
exactly?
And I think we relay to her
The
what
story
has
so
the
far.
story so far. I'm
They're
not sure
halfway
what
about
point there would be in holding anything back.
about 3/4 of the way through the story. There is you feel as the temperature around you plummets.
Ooh.
And you see once again the circle glowing. And there is another burst as the woman that you knew as Lurian Barkest in the Teldorath appears. And will walk
good.
over towards you and will glance down at Aurelia and go, well, this is a mess. And Aurelia will glance upwards and go, took you long enough. I don't know what's keeping Apollo. Anyway, so you were going to this... And they'll both stare at you, Cal.
I think he might not be coming either. That had nothing to do with us.
Sit down. They're explaining how we got to where we are. And Lurian will sit down, and as she does so, her body will shimmer, and she will sort of become Demetria the Winter Teldorath in full.
Yes.
And they will then listen to kind of your story and nod along for most of it. And at the end,
Continue.
they will go, well, you've certainly had a lot of ups and downs, says Demetria. But
Very true.
I will say, you could have been a little bit more focused on the whole killing the vampire problem of it all.
Well, I guess, but we had to get the stuff first, and then the lady took our dragons, and that was very distressing.
Seems to me that the lady wants nothing more in the world than to kill the vintner. So why not just work with her and have it be done with?
Because she wants to mind wash, yeah, our dragons and brainwash and enslave them into the Solanese navy, and I'm not having that.
Oh, well, that is really, really terrible that you don't want that. That puts a little damper on the ethics of the situation for you. Miss Vance, we're talking about the world where not just the Navy, but Soliana itself and the Keldarin continent as a whole might soon cease to exist. If the cost of doing business is a few mind-washed dragons, I think that we will be able to struggle on past that.
But aren't the dragons important to our mission? Aren't they going to help us? Aren't they kind of fundamental? Even if you take the sentiment out?
She will go absolutely, and by the sounds of it, she was giving you a chance to fight the Vintner with the dragons at your side and the full strength of the Solanese Armada behind it. Sure, you might not have been doing it in mind as well as in spirit and body, but I'm just saying a little bit of perspective might not have hurt along the way.
Look, if you met her, you'd get it. She's awful. She's bad. She's bad news. She employs mind flayers. She's bad news bears.
She is
Aurelia,
bad news bears.
Aurelia will turn to Demetria and go, you know, when I told them about you, I introduced you as my asshole of a sister for this precise reason. And Demetria will kind of go,
I see what you mean.
They always struck me as too soft-hearted to be proper cavaliers.
I mean, this just happened to us. Maybe you should fight the Vintner.
Yeah.
Although
right.
you
I don't
guys
see
kill
you
quite
going to fight
easily,
the
actually,
Vintner.
as it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Demetria will nod and go, yes, we're creatures of knowledge, creatures of guile. We hide, we keep knowledge alive, we pass it on to the right people, we nudge events in the right direction. When we try to stand up and fight, that tends to happen. This is why we select folks like you. I wholeheartedly agree with everything that you just said, Miss Hailstorm.
I don't know what I said. But fine.
Aurelia will raise a
We're very tired.
Aurelia will raise a hand and sort of go, let's all bring the temperature down for a moment. My sister and I are very upset. We just lost,
Of course.
2 of our brothers. And Demetria will sort of go, nah. And Aurelia will go, we're very upset, I tell you. But we need to focus on next moves. And specifically, we need to know how much time we have left. The Void Keeper, where's it at? How many days do we have left before Armageddon?
Well,
So
interestingly,
It's with Satus, I think.
At the same time, you know, are you kidding? Well, I should have. Why can't this? There was just like both, like, you know, like a slightly unleash a slight torrent of disapproving chastisement your way.
Yeah.
They will go. Do you have any idea how bad this is?
Well,
No.
we gotta get Satus back anyway, because he's our guy, so the
Yeah.
fact that you need him back is probably quite a good thing.
Yeah.
They exchange a look, and Demetria will go, you may have more immediate problems.
Oh yeah?
Oh, really? Good.
Yes.
What are those?
The Vintner, Prince Volan, he is working to bring back quite an ancient and powerful creature called the Exiled One. And Aurelia will go, I filled him in on those details when they saw me at Mount Firmament. And Demetria will go, well, good. Part
Yeah.
of...
Well, we could use a refresher just for, you know.
Well, the lightning version of it is that once upon a time, the Aldoran Empire was the law of the land. They were just, kind, benevolent, scientifically and arcanically advanced, and they ruled with great compassion and wisdom, with the main power being the Cavaliers, chosen of gods, armored knights riding dragons. But at a certain point, it became clear that this powerful entity that had long been banished from this world, the Exiled One, was trying to exploit the very thing that made the Aldoran so powerful. The magic, the wonder, the very power that flowed through everything that they did, as a way of opening a doorway back into this world. And ultimately through that, he ended up consuming a lot of the magic that made Aldoran possible. It led to the fall of the Empire, it led to the disappearance of the dragons, it led to the dimming of magic the world over. And we thought that this matter was settled after the fall, after the Great War. Almost all the Void Piercers were destroyed, all the dragons were gone, but we thought that the Exiled One was gone for good. Well, turns out that the Exiled One had some supporters amongst the Aldoran nobility, specifically young Prince Volan, who, turning to vampirism, ended up working to find another way to make his master come back into the world. And he found a way through the Rildran, the dragon eggs that had been preserved by another member of the Aldoran nobility, and that through your actions came to be hatched into the world. As that happened, the amount of magic has been steadily ticking upwards. And as more and more of that has happened, and more people have become aware of the existence of dragons, we've been seeing more incursions of strange creatures. And soon, she will glance around, we may need to deal with the Harbingers. 3 colossal monsters that are the Exiled One's advanced force, if you will. If Volan's rituals are advanced enough, if he has caused enough things to go wrong, if enough magic has returned to the world, if enough people have become aware of the existence of dragons and the miraculous events of recent times, then it is only a matter of time before these 3 monsters rise again. And, well, after that, it's only a matter of days before we see perhaps even the return of the exiled one himself.
Okay.
Great.
So...
Aurelia will
That
go,
sounds-
what were we talking about in terms of, was it 150 days until Armageddon? Was it 100 days till Armageddon? Was it 80 days till Armageddon?
It was kind of less than that.
Was it as bad as 50? At 50, we start to get very worried.
It was a little bit less.
It was a
than that.
little less.
They exchange a look. They go like, 40?
I was just a little bit down
Yeah, a little bit.
from 40.
Yeah, a little
30?
closer. Still a little less.
Demetria will sort of go, what am I doing in Veldria? I should be hiding. We should, she stands up and I'm getting out of here before those 3 things show up. And Aurelia will go, Demetria.
But somebody's got to stop them, and
Yeah.
it's got to be us, right?
Demetria will go over to you and, like, grab your hand and shake it and go, I wish you nothing but the best of luck in this experience. My sister can fill you in on the relevant details. Ta-ta, have a good time.
But I really think you should stay. We could use all the help we can get. We're just 2 people now.
She'll cross her arms and go, my sister and I are just 2 people now. We used to be 4, now we're just 2. If this thing pops off the way that I think that it will, there has to be someone that might be able to live to tell the tale. So that in another 3,000 years, when the history turns one more time, there might be a chance for the next people to understand what happened. That is my function. That has always been my function. For a long time, I guarded the knowledge and the sword that is now in Miss Hellstorm's possession. One function fulfilled, I must now dedicate myself to the other one.
Hang on, what?
But we lost the sword.
Yes.
Excuse
Could you
me?
help us?
Oh, you don't know that? I feel like people...
Yeah. I thought you all knew
You
this.
lost the sword. You lost...
Just
I was-
now.
You lost...
Just now.
You lost the Void Keeper, the sacred sword that marked you as a champion of the Frostwalker, the sword, the black sword, the sword of ice, that sword, my sword. You lost our sword. That
exactly
sword.
that sword. I was unconscious. It was stolen by an entity known as the
And-
Curator.
I was possessed by said curator.
Who in the Black Devils is the Curator? What does he have to do with anything?
I was hoping
You don't
you'd have heard
know?
of him.
Yeah.
Like, you
He's
seem
this,
like the
like-
sort of person who could deal with him.
What?
Very.
Yeah, go on, Cal. Describe the Curator. I dare you to use any positive descriptors.
He's in my black book now. So he must be a fae of some sort. He's a trickster.
Instantly,
And-
Aurelia will go, oh, no, you didn't. You didn't involve the Fae in this.
We kind of had to. This was before we met you that we did this, by the way.
What did you
And-
wager with him? What did you give him?
15 minutes of my time.
Once again, they both burst out at the same time. Just like 15 whole minutes. Do you have any idea what kind of person loses their mind so completely that they would agree to, it's just 20 minutes,
Yeah.
like entire empires have fallen. Have you lost, could you, blah, 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 you know, they...
Yeah.
We are often in very difficult situations.
We
both
had to make.
nearly died today. I mean,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you either. And you know what? It doesn't matter because it happened and it's done. And now he's got the sword and we need the sword back. So we have to find him. And I think that's the most attainable of our goals at the moment.
Terrific.
Yep.
Where is he?
Well, we're not sure. But
I
there was
feel
this token-
extremely good about the attainability.
I'm gonna show. I'll take out the broken plaque and say, "We're not sure, but see these statues here?
Yes, the statues
This
of the
one-
Harbingers.
Oh, that's what those are.
Oh,
What's
that's what those are.
What's
But
with
this,
the fourth?
yeah,
flame?
what's
There
the
used to be a
fourth one?
statue of the exiled one there. The plaque that
Oh,
you are
well-
holding up reads
Oh.
exile.
Okay.
Oh,
Then it's been broken off.
what do
How
you
does
think
this
that means?
connect? I think it means that somebody vandalized this temple.
Oh,
How does this connect
It's
back
not
to the
like-
curator?
I don't know. He left, and
yeah, he
then
was-
we
Demetria
saw
will go,
and
this
so-
is the most attainable, you say. I feel tremendous about our odds. I am really getting
unless
getting
you'd like-
convinced that I should stick around and that it would be good for my health. This is a compelling
Unless-
pitch.
You know, isn't it your sacred duty or whatever to protect this sword? So it's your sacred duty to help us get it back.
My
Yeah, I
sacred
think that's
duty
fair.
was to test the one that my god chose. I believe that I tested, although I will admit I could have perhaps vetted more thoroughly.
What was my mistake? Getting killed nearly?
Letting the
Like,
sword go! How could you lose the sword?
by being unconscious.
Well, that's your
You would
first
have-
mistake! Don't do that!
You would have done the same. Had you been unconscious?
What
Yeah.
fearsome creature were you fighting that overpowered you so thoroughly?
Look.
This one. The scrawny
than
one
I
over here.
look. I'm
Look.
tougher than I look.
And how? Maybe
Yeah.
let's get off this territory.
Demetria,
Yeah.
Demetria will give you a strong poke on your shoulder, Cal. Can I have
No.
a strength saving throw?
Don't poke Cal.
Oh, that's pretty good. Strength saving. It's going to be 17.
You don't lose your balance, but it's a near thing.
Ow!
I don't think you should poke Cal.
Yeah. I've died twice. I've been possessed. I'm really I was being controlled by an evil god, and now I'm given power from the dragons. So, you know what? It's been a lot.
Yeah.
And we're doing the best we can.
And, we
And
understand.
honestly, Satus was kind of holding the group together, but we're going to get him back. So unless you can teleport us to wherever he is.
Aurelia will raise her hand and go, once again, raises the question, where is he?
Well, we don't know for sure, but I would say, because we left him with the Solanese, with Razak in the Silkern Toll, and that's where they were. As far as I know, they can't teleport anywhere. So near Amar is
Best guess.
yeah. And
So we have narrowed it down from somewhere to in a country. Or perhaps near or around
we know
the
where
country.
they were. We know exactly where they were a couple hours ago.
I'm sure that there's a way of narrowing that down a little bit. I mean, you
We
have
could-
powers, don't you, Bert?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you can sense the Void Keeper. Like, we are open to suggestions.
Yeah.
It's all very well pointing out the things that we've screwed up, but we're very aware of them at this point.
They'll
could
both
just use
take a
help.
deep breath and kind of go. There's less that we can do than we'd like to do. Aurelia will sort of go. I can open up certain pathways that are normally more restricted. I can allow Maeve to transport you from one place that connects to her storefront to another. I can give you that help, at least.
Okay. That's something.
Demetria will go, I will pray for you every single morning and every single evening before I go to bed as I hold on to warm thoughts.
Yeah.
You're so kind. That means a lot.
I'm the asshole
Thoughts and
sister.
prayers. Yeah. I mean, we are open to suggestions. We could go to where we found the curator when we first found him. We know where that is.
They
That's
go,
backtracking a bit.
sure, absolutely.
He seems to be able to go wherever he wants because he saved us one time. That was very confusing.
They exchange another look, and Demetria will go, this is the problem with the Fae. They oftentimes, it's less that they want one side of the war to win, but they want it to be a great war. They want it to be a good war that goes on for a good long while. That's their idea of sportsmanship. So I think
I think it would go on longer if we had that sword.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Even if we get to him, we're going to need something pretty impressive to bargain with, else he's not going to give that sword
that's
back.
true. That's very true.
Well,
I'm not giving him more of my time.
Well,
that lesson.
Maybe we will.
they both go good at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Helena. I mean, this didn't turn out great.
No, I know.
They go no at the same time.
We often have limited resources, don't we?
We do indeed.
At this point, Aurelia will go, okay, let's maybe move past your missing companion who we can't find, or your missing sword who we can't locate, or the creature that has done you wrong and whose whereabouts are unknown, or your 2 missing dragons who are also objects that are obscured to us at the moment.
Objects.
People, items, whatever. Let's
Yes.
focus on what we can do.
Okay.
There is still time for you to find the vintner. There is still time for you to kill him before he does more wrong. You have gotten...
Where is
he? Is in Veldria. We know that he is within the kingdom, is where most of the dark rituals that have been summoning forces from the void are originating from. We suspect...
Oh, good. So again, we've narrowed it down to a country.
We suspect that his headquarters are in the city of Long Branch, if I could be allowed to say my next sentence.
Well, you have been very tough on us. So thank you for that information.
You're extremely welcome. But once again, I would advise you to keep your eyes open for any events of darkening days. And if you hear of any monstrous appearances, concentrations of events like that tend to be around where you would find Prince Volan. So look for things that are going horribly wrong, I suppose. But I would start in the city of Long Branch, if you are ready to confront him. Otherwise, your missing sword, your missing dragons, your missing compatriot. Demetria will cut in, your missing wits, and Aurelia will go, you're not helping.
And Void Keeper.
Your missing instrument.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
events are getting quite close to being at the boiling point soon. I don't think that there's a lot of time left. You may have to face things before you are fully prepared to face them.
Okay.
Okay.
So in our diminished state, we go forth and attempt to kill the vintner, weapons down, dragons down, Satus down, and we should look out for harbingers.
But you have
on the
Demetria's
way.
prayers behind you, so, you know, you are
Yeah,
all
you're
set.
right. We're gonna be fine.
Do Demetria's prayers do something like, oh, I don't know, make us feel like we've taken a long rest or something like that? Can you offer us anything that will restore some of our vitality?
Demetria will go over to you, extend the finger, and do the sign of the cross on your forehead, and cast cast Cure Light Wounds.
Oh,
Amen.
thank you. Thank you.
Huh.
That was
what you did there.
that was nice.
It heals you for 2 points of damage.
Brilliant.
Two.
That'll
whole
do it, I'm
points.
sure.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. My problem is, while I was being possessed, I lost a lot of what I refer to in my brain as spell slots. And
Your attunement to the magical energies of the world.
Indeed. And I could really use... I usually feel like I recover that after about a week, but I could really use them a little bit sooner, I think.
They'll both shrug, and Aurelia will go talk to Maeve. She may have something for you.
What is your deal with Maeve?
Maeve is my patron. I provide her... Excuse me, I'm Maeve's patron.
Yeah.
I provide her with power. I provide her with knowledge. I provide her with resources. In exchange, she keeps an ear to the ground for interesting rumors and provides most people that are trying to do interesting things with magic around the world of Keldarin with the reagents that they are looking for their purchases. In exchange for that, I turn a blind eye to some indiscretions that have made her persona non grata in a variety of places. But I'm all about forgiveness. Autumn is about how things can change and turn. And Dimitri will go, and winter is about doing what you need to do to survive, which in my case is leaving. Good luck.
You have...
She will start to make some gestures with her hands, and a moment later, in a burst of snowflakes, she is gone.
Well, great help she is.
Always has been like that, but hey, there used to be a lot more Ladrin of us, and now there's 2 of us left, so maybe she has a point. But hey, there's a reason why I introduced her as my asshole of a sister.
Yes. Well, I am sorry about that.
Thank you. Apollo and Theros were difficult in a lot of ways, but I was happy to know that they were out there somewhere, even if we hadn't talked in a couple of millennia.
Well, what do you think, Helena?
I don't know how much choice we have. I guess we go to Long Branch.
I guess so.
Long Branch is about a day's walk towards the north. Alternatively, you could head for either the cities of... Where on my notes is it? For Keystone, which is about 2 days' walk towards the south, or Linvale, which is about a day and a half's journey to the east.
Is there any reason why one of those would be preferable to Long Branch?
If you want to avoid the Vintner altogether, don't go into his stomping grounds.
Well, does Maeve have a location?
In all 3 of them.
In all 3 of them. Okay. Well, yes.
Take some time, regroup, get your strength. Time is short, but it is not gone.
Also,
right.
the Void Keeper might have improved since I got my powers back. We were led to believe the reason why it got so low was because I lost my powers for a bit.
There might be a lot of things that were contributing to it, Cal. I'm sorry to say.
Well,
but sometimes things go for the better.
I hope so. I feel like we could really use that. Yes.
Yeah.
Aurelia will go, well, here's a thought. If she'll glance around at the statues that are still here, the Harbingers, these powerful monsters, were created with the essence of the first Void Keepers that the Exiled One's forces captured. If you were able to kill and defeat these monsters, there might be artifacts of similar power to the ones in your possession to be found within them. So, I'm not saying that the battle would not be incredibly difficult and quite formidable, but know that you might find a reward that would be quite powerful at the other end of it.
So maybe we should kill the Harbingers first.
Maybe.
How do we find them?
If the Harbingers rise, you will have no trouble hearing of it. They are enormous monsters. They are monsters that tend to stand taller than a castle, or swim larger than a ship. Okay. And they tend to immediately go towards large population centers and begin to decimate said population. Again, the more people that see great acts of magic or great miraculous creatures, or in this case, great evil creatures of magic, the thinner the veil that is keeping the Exiled One out of this place gets.
Okay.
Hey.
This is difficult for everyone, but I still have faith.
You do?
We'll get through it.
That's right. We never give up.
Never surrender.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry about Satus too.
Oh, thank you. I think he's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I hope
I have to believe it.
He knows how to handle himself. And we're sorry about Theros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I still think we need to rest just a little bit before heading out.
Okay.
But I suppose trying to kill the Vintner is easier than trying to kill these Harbingers just by ourselves. So...
Aurelia will go. Don't take Demetria's unwillingness to help as a general policy of most people. I'm sure that you have touched the lives of many people, and I'm sure that many of them would be both willing and able to help out. Say that again, Emma?
Cal?
I said gathering allies.
Yeah.
We could try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some allies. People want to defend the world. Yeah.
Yeah. But it seems that we might as well head for Long Branch.
Okay.
And see what we find there.
Yep.
And if that's Maeve, and we've been allowed a little transport through Maeve's portal.
We'll get you where you need to be.
Okay.
Best of luck. And with that, she will snap her fingers, and in a puff of autumn leaves disappear.
I like autumn.
What's that?
Autumn. I've always liked autumn.
I've always liked autumn, too. It was always so hot in Basaranath. Always... Yeah. Missed the leaves of Amar, but that's about all I missed. But Veldria seems nice so far. You know, in the time that we've had here, which is mostly me being possessed and trying to kill you accidentally.
Yeah, it can be.
Well, that's good. Well, I still think we should get a little rest before we head out.
Okay.
And then,
Okay. I'll watch.
Thanks.
You take some rest, you bandage your wounds, you eat some provisions, drink some water, feed Volt. By the time that you are done with that, a couple of hours have gone by, and it is the early hours of the morning. The sun is in the sky.
Do we get to take a short rest?
You do get to take a short rest.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and
Yes.
and use 5 of my
Hit dice.
hit dice. Yes.
All right. Big spender.
I got 9.
You have?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
5d6 plus 2. 4, 5, 6.
Do you have any hit dice left, Beth?
I'm just having a look. It says 9d10. Is that...
That is how
What
many
is that?
hit dice you have left, so you can use however many you want out of those to recover vitality and health on a short rest.
Okay.
But then you don't get them back until you long rest.
Okay. I'll use 4 then.
Okay? So you'll have 5 left.
Okay. And then we rolled the dice.
And then I think I'm going to use I'll have to look this up. How many sorcery points I need to spend to get some spell slots back.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick break, and you can look that up during the break then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Or Sam.